is shot 1, take 2, and go when you're ready.
Okay. So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. The N refers to the mind and how the mind works. L is for linguistics, and that represents the language we use, the body language as well as the verbal language. And the P for programming relates to the behaviours that we adopt and the strategies we use to live day to day, our behaviours and our actions. So NLP can actually, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, the words sound a little bit very technical sometimes, and people can be put off by that, but it's actually a very easy science to learn. So what is NLP? Like, what's the definition of NLP? There are lots of different definitions out there, and each one is different. There's no one agreed definition because people are so different and their viewpoint on it is so different. So, but each definition does shine a different light and gives you a different perspective on what NLP can be and what it is about. So for me, one of the simplest definitions is that NLP is an art and a science of understanding success and brilliant behaviour and communication, and how we actually can achieve that. So it's a toolbox. It's got tools and techniques that enable you to take control of your life once you learn how that actually works. So fundamental to NLP is really understanding how your mind works. So in some respects, it's a user's manual for the brain. And who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to know how your own mind works, how you create your reality, and how other people around you do the same thing as well? So, people struggle with, generally people struggle with 3 different areas of their life. They struggle with really articulating and defining what they want. People are really good at knowing what they don't want, but not really what they do want. They struggle with overcoming what they feel are the barriers to their success, things that stop them from achieving that. And the third one is, once they really know what they want, sometimes finding the right strategy to help them get what they want can also be a challenge. So this is where NLP training is really, really beneficial, because that helps you address each of those areas. So consider for a moment if, the ideal thing would be for a person to be able to be who they are, do what they want to do, and have what they want to have in their life. And when that happens, we say, okay, you might be very happy and having a really full and enriching life. But if you're not doing what you want to do, let's say, for example, you're working in a job that you really don't want to be working in, or you're not having what you want to have, you've had dreams from when you were young and you weren't able to achieve them. And even being who you really are, is it okay for you to be who you really are at work and at home? Do you have to pretend to be someone else so that people might like and accept you? Are you really being who you really are? All those areas are things that NLP can help you work with and address, and so that you can create change in all those different areas so that you can be who you really are, that special person. You can do that comfortably wherever you want to. You can do what you want to do, and that means having what you want to have in your life. NLP is placed in a context of ecology, though, so it's a very respectful way of making change in your own life and making sure that any changes that you do create in your life have a really positive flow and effect, not only for yourself, but for the people around you. So, NLP, how does the mind work? Well, I've got a great set of blocks here that were made for me. They're a limited edition block set made especially for me by someone I love and really respect. And I thought this would be a great way to help you understand on some level the way we actually create our reality and how the mind works. So generally, well, not generally, all the time, we take in information from our environment through our 5 senses. And those 5 senses, you would know, are the sight, sound, feelings, the sense of smell and the sense of taste. And those senses, the information we take in through those, are actually the building blocks of our thinking process. So if I were to use these building blocks to build something here, which I shall do, I play with these quite frequently. So I build something like a little bit of a tower, and I've got some of my own crystals here which I use as well to create a tower. So if these are the building blocks of my thinking, this particular formation of how I put together these building blocks creates this tower. But if I were to change how I think or change how I put together these building blocks, I may actually create something quite different. I could create what I think to be a train, or if I change my building blocks again, I could even create something like a little bit of a bridge between two different things as well. And there you go. Whoops. Let's see, I'll do something else. Find this one here. And that is another way of actually putting together and creating something else. So when you change your building blocks, your internal building blocks, based on your senses, when you change those, you can change your actual behavior and you can change the reality that you create for yourself. So I hope you come along and learn how to do this, not only for yourself, but also for the people around you. I'm just going to keep playing for a little bit. Okay.
So the blocks,
Yes.
if you put them any blocks, you can keep the box there, it's fine, but if you put the blocks so it's in this path, we're not going to really see it yet.
So did you see any of that?
Yeah, I saw it, but just didn't see the end block on this far side.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You're keeping like this, like a lot of this, covering